Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So today we're playing some Mono Black Discard. So this is a deck that we've been encountering quite a lot on the ladder recently. So I thought it was worth seeking out what's new about it and why it's suddenly become so popular, and maybe give it a go. And so I've spotted a few deck lists doing the rounds which are running a couple of new cards. So as well as Kaervek the Punisher, which we have used before, which is a 3/3 for 3 legendary human warlock that says whenever you commit a crime, exile up to one target black card from your graveyard and copy it. You may cast the copy. If you do, lose 2 life. We're also running two copies of Hostile Investigator. So this is a 4/3 from the big score. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card, and whenever one or more players discards one or more cards, investigate. This ability triggers only once each turn, so this is a nice little synergy with the rest of the deck. And obviously, Kaervek allows us to recur some of our discard spells and other black spells from the graveyard. And this being a primarily black deck, allows us to do lots and lots of different things. So like most discard decks, it's based around Waste Not, which is a 2-mana enchantment that gets you value whenever the opponent discards a card. If they discard a creature, you get a 2/2 black zombie. If they discard a land, you get a 2 black mana. And if they discard a non-creature, non-land, draw a card. So just value off the opponent discarding cards. And so we have many cards which allow us to force the opponent to discard. So we have 4 copies of Thoughtseize and 2 copies of Duress. So those are our classic 1-mana hand disruption spells, but we've also got 3 copies of Liliana of the Veil, which +1 is to discard a card, as well as potentially getting rid of annoying creatures the opponent has, and then 3 go blanks as well, which makes them discard 2 cards and then exiles their graveyard. And obviously our 2 Hostile Investigators also come with a built-in discard effect as well. So there's plenty of things to hit the opponent's hand. And then we have some more this kind of plays a little bit like Mono Black Control in some ways. So we've got Fatal Push, Shieldred's Edict, Heartless Act, and Go for the Throat. So we've got lots and lots of different removal spells. 1 Cling to Dust as Incidental Graveyard Hate. A Maze Mind Tome, which is a very, very powerful artifact, 2 mana, that we can tap it and put a page counter on to scry 1, pay 2 and tap it, put a page counter on it to draw a card, and when there are 4 or more page counters on it, you exile it, and if you do, gain 4 life. So this is a good card not only for giving us some card advantage and card selection, but helps the game go long while we set up our turns and hopefully disrupt everything that the opponent's doing. And so they will eventually we'll kind of outvalue them using cards like this. Then, as I say, we have all of our 3 drops. Kaervek the Punisher is a very good addition to this deck. And then our 4 drops, we have an Extinction Event, which is a good way of particularly getting rid of odd mana creatures if we had just got an army of 2/2 black zombies. And the opponent's running decks which rely on a lot of odd converted mana cost creatures like Mono Green Devotion, and then a couple of Shieldred the Apocalypse. Another good finisher in the deck, just helps close out the game, attacks for a lot of damage, makes the opponent lose life whenever they draw a card. Then in terms of our mana base, obviously we have a fair number of swamps. We've got Castle Lochthwain to draw additional cards. Hive of the Eye Tyrant is an additional way of closing out the game. Sunken Citadel, good way of both generating mana of the colour that we want, but also then activating our various land abilities, of which we have a few. So we've got Field of Ruin and Demolition Field to take out non-basic lands of the opponents. And then we've got 2 Gaia Reach Sanitariums. So this is a legendary land which taps for colourless, and we can pay 2 and tap it to say each player draws a card, then discards a card. So obviously it triggers Shieldred, it triggers Waste Not when they discard. It's a good way of kind of locking them out the game. If they don't have any cards in hand, obviously they have no selection over what they discard. So whereas we do. So yeah, very, very powerful land in this deck. Then in the sideboard, we have some more removal with Cut Down, more hand disruption if we want even more copies of Duress. Reckon a Bank Buster, again, does a similar role in this deck to Maze Mind Tome, just helps draw us additional cards, and can act as a finisher in itself later in the game. Unlicensed Hearse attacks the opponent's graveyard while leaving ours alone to get value off Kaervek. Path of Peril, blowing up cheap creatures that the opponent may play. Ashiok shuts down their searching their library, a couple more Extinction Events, And then, as it's mono black, we can afford to run a couple of Invoke Despairs. So we haven't played this card in a while. So this is 1 and a 4 black mana for a sorcery. Target opponent sacrifices a creature. If they can't, they lose 2 life and you draw a card. Then repeat this process for an enchantment and a planeswalker. So generally it will snipe 1 or 2 things of the opponents while also drawing us a couple of cards and hitting their life total as well. So a very good answer to Fable of the Mirror Breaker as well, as it kind of kills both bits of Fable. One of the few cards that does that without having to 2-for-1 yourself. So yeah, good card. So yeah, we've whizzed through that, but we have played Mono Black Discard before, so it's a fairly self-explanatory deck. Just a couple of new cards to try out in this shell. And yeah, let's see if it is as popular for us as it has been for other people. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. As ever, hit those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. And let's go on to the ladder. Okay, on the draw, sounds okay. This deck doesn't mind being on the draw that much, just because it gives the opponent fewer resources in hand to work with. Ooh, a snow-covered mountain. It's rare enough these days. So they're running a mono red aggro slick shot show off style deck. Yeah, I think I just need to pass here and wait with Fatal Push. At least with just mono red, I know they're not don't have like protection spells for their show off. Oh dear. Okay, I'm a patient man, I can wait. Huh. Good lord. Why would they have to... Why? Why? Why would you leave that on top? If I have anywhere... And their hand is empty before I even get to cast any of this stuff. Yeah. Well, I'll stick a Waste Knot into play, just in case it one day becomes useful. You never can tell. Okay, so I'm on a functional 4 now. Shieldred, hello! Okay, down to 2. Christ alive. If I survive one turn at least, I can gain 4 with the Maze Mind Tome. Oh, crapulence. I mean, that was just absurd. Okay, let's put in Cut Down. Take out Thoughtseize because I don't want to lose life. But put in Path of Peril. And run it back. Oh, I might actually get to do something with my Go Blanks here. Exciting, wasn't it? Let's get rid of that. That's not that interesting in itself. So, start getting some value off our Waste Not. To be fair, 4 mana is not bad here, because it just allows me to Maze Mind Tome and draw with Maze Mind Tome, which is a pretty decent exchange, I think. I can't keep drawing like this. And on the top as well. Alright, well, just get rid of that while they're tapped out and have no cards in hand. So this will flip. So take 3. Scry. No. So I should be fine in this game. Yeah. Bit too late for that to turn up.
Something suspicious is going on. And for
One of your friends has to leave.
Question of whether I'm attacking here. I don't think I am. Just gonna chill. Not a bad draw.
Fine. I'll take my zombies and leave.
Very annoying about Liana. Okay, that's not the worst. So I think I will attack on this turn, just because I have enough removal. Go to 10 and be grateful. Yeah, that's alright. Monstrous Rage is an interesting draw, isn't it? Okay, so Heartless Act their Soulscar Mage. That doesn't do what you think it does. Yeah, this seems fine. Extinction events are a pretty valuable draw here. So the case of the Crimson Pulse, discard and draw. Yeah, that needs to go. Please, not more land. Do it. So I could get the final card out of their hand. And use Liliana as a damage soak. Yeah, that seems fine.
Enough with the mysteries. You won't be outsmarting me.
Okay, that was a good shout.
Knew this was a waste of time.
Yeah, Shieldred's good. And I can wait on Extinction Event. Are they bluffing here? Yes. No. It was worth a try. Yeah. Go ahead. Do your thing. Okay. Cool. Right. So. Activate Hive. Block Etching's Fatal Push Den of the Bugbear. That's a pretty good exchange for us. Ooh, and Field of Ruins, not bad either. Does that work? So if I blow up that, and no, that doesn't quite work. Okay. That's fine. As long as if it's not going at my face, I don't mind so much. Waste Not is pretty medium here, but may as well get it on the battlefield. Go to 8. Not only does this destroy Den of the Bugbear, it's also a 4th shuffle, so it gets rid of their top card. Okay, well I'm happy with Mazevine Tome. So let's just chill and pass here. Just in case I draw push. It's not push, but Sanitarium's not bad. Yeah, double Ramanap Ruins is a bit of a sad state of affairs, isn't it? So I think I will pass the turn. Okay. They didn't use Ramanap Ruins. That feels like a mistake. Well, they may have an answer. If they do, I'll just die. Nope. That is a block, if nothing else. I'm not quite dead. I'm super close to being dead. But they keep forgetting to activate their Ramanap Ruins, so... Seems likely I will probably get away with it. Or maybe I won't. They might just have another Skewer the Critics. Doesn't look like they do, so... Discard your card, please. No. Sanitarium can have a go. Okay, that should have done it from here. Cool. Okay, let's go again. This is reasonable. Don't think I'm going to hold the duress. Let's just see what they've got in their hand. Okay, so they are running vampires. So I'll take their Sorin here, I think. Continue. Drawn a lot of land. The opponent's not drawing any, which is not a terrible spot to be in, but I am still drawing just more land. Yep. I have nothing of interest going on, you'll be pleased to know. Good lord. Okay. Well, we'll just carry on, shall we? Now at least we can start getting some value off our cards.
Do you think you can win? Knew this was a waste of time. We all have things we'd rather
Okay. They're probably spitting fire over there at this point. To be fair, I don't have a huge amount much else going on over here either, so... Go on, we'll draw once more with Castle Lochthwain. Sure thing. It's one of the more ridiculous games of Magic I've ever been involved in. Hooray! Okay, they've probably... Okay, fortunately they don't have Vein Ripper, so I'll Fatal Push that. Go blanks. A good one. Continue. Sure thing. I will thought seize here, just to... Cool. Okay, yes, that was a little on the absurd side, but it is what it is. So the opponent's on vampires, so Extinction Event and Invoke Despair are quite good here. Duress as well. Cut down, not so much. Edict is fine. Go blank is fine. Actually, most of our cards are pretty good here, I think. So, what's not so great? Cling to Dust we don't need. Might trim Maze Mine Tome as well. Maybe a couple of Fatal Pushes. It is a hard one. I'll tell you what, I'll just have 3 Duresses. Trim an Edict as well. It sounds a little on the slow side, but I think it's good enough. Interesting. Well, I'll pop Waste Not into play, then Go Blank's a pretty good follow-up to that, I think. Before Kaervek comes out, I think. Yeah, pretty happy with that as a concept. Now, I'm not expecting Kaervek to survive very long, but... But they are pretty low on resources now. So I think I'll get this last card out of their hand with Hostile Investigator. Okay, that's a good one to get rid of. Cool, yeah, that was fairly easy. Oh, I have to say I've been impressed by Hostile Investigator so far. Comes down at kind of the right moment in the game to often snipe their last card. You get some value off it, and then it's quite a big beater. Okay, more mono red. What have I got? I think I'll take their light up the stage here. That's a pretty good draw. Yeah, so I'll just pass the turn for now. I suspect they will... Yeah, lightning me, sure thing. Push their Soulscar Mage. Take 2 cards out of their hand. I think Hostile Investigator is the best play here. It leaves us vulnerable to a slick shot for 1 turn, but we can then just push that at a later point. Yeah, that's pretty good. So just pass the turn for now. Sanitarium is just okay here. I may as well get rid of some of these discard cards that I don't need. Don't think they'll be tempted to double block here. Nope. This doesn't get any value off the discard, but it is just another 4/3, so can't complain too much. Do I pull the trigger on one of these removal spells? I may as well. Kill their Swift Spear. Yep, that turned out to be a pretty good move.
Nobody knows Dominaria's shadows like me.
Okay, so back to mono red. So cut down, Path of Peril, all good. Thoughtseize out. One Edict out as well. Put in another Duress. I think that will do fine. Didn't actually have the best hand on that first game, so... Yeah, Yeah, it's a keep, because it has Path of Peril. More land is not necessarily what we want to be seeing here. So I'm probably just super dead here, but let's path the peril and see what happens. So I go to 2. Well, yeah, I mean, I drew 4 land in a row there, I think. I mean, these hands are just awful, but... So I could just wait here and use Extinction Event next turn. I think that's probably worth the damage, and then have cut down later. So these are even. I mean, fair enough, they do have almost everything going for them here. Well, Path of Peril's a good draw, so let's take out all of their creatures. Cut you down. That's interesting. I assume they choose Liliana of the Vale here. Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Okay, that also makes sense. So this does help them solve their case, but I think it is worth it to give us the creature and the clue token. Let's just do it at the beginning. Discard your hand and draw 2 cards. Well, that's pretty rough. Okay, Cling to Dust isn't terrible, actually, because it gives us some life gain. So let's just take away their Soulscar Mage. Now activate Castle Lochthwain. Waste not into Liliana of the Vale.
Happy to help, but I'm... Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
I mean, they're drawing 3 cards a turn. We're in pretty desperate shape here, but... yeah, okay. Yeah, I think if we hadn't drawn quite so badly in game two, I think we'd have been okay there. But yeah, that case was just too much for us to handle. But on the whole, not a bad performance by Mono Black Discard. Surprisingly impressed by Hostile Investigator. Kaervek didn't really do much for us, but the opponents tend to kill it quite quickly when it comes down. Yeah, decent. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Hit those like and subscribe buttons as ever, and I'll see you next time.